Natalie, continuing on the theme of Zoom fatigue and why it happens. Yeah. Now, I've just come off an hour ago, I've just come off a Zoom call with 70 people on there. And that was quite intense. It was 90 minutes. And
90 minutes is a long time. I mean, the average time should be 45 minutes.
It was intense. People giving their 45-second pitches, literally. But one way you may, if it suits, if the particular meeting format suits, is to change what you see on screen. Now, I had the 49 people screen, the big one on there, I just minimized a bit. There's lots of things happening. So much so, it's way outside a natural situation. There's things happening and light flashing and cat's tails and goodness knows what. But if you change the view to speaker view, that may, if your circumstances allow that, that may help considerably. But if you change to speaker view, so just the view in the top right-hand corner, you've got speaker view and group and whatever, just try that and see if it helps. Because then at least you don't have to, from a inbuilt survival viewpoint, go, is it safe on here? Or is somebody going to attack me? Because that's possibly the energy we're running. And just go to speaker view, and then, you know, they will pop in and out. You'll get some random ones, but you only have to look at one person at a time. Yeah, so I think that is a good possibility of being able to minimize the tiring distraction factor with all the faces.
I think also, I mean, if you're in a 90-minute meeting or masterclass or even network, I think a 90-minute networking is long. But I think if you're in that length of time meeting, is what I sometimes do is I will minimize my Zoom box so it's in the corner, and then you only see the speaker. You don't see everybody else, but you also, it's not your full screen. So I've got lovely flowers as my screen saver or my screen. So yeah. I'm not looking at the Zoom, but I can hear what somebody's saying, but I am still there and I can see who I'm speaking, but they're tiny and it's sitting in the corner of my computer. Yeah. And you can put them wherever you need to, but you're still listening and you can still look at your camera so that you're still being seen as participating. But that might also be a way to just not be so focused on Zoom, on faces for 90 minutes. Yeah,
well, absolutely. I mean, if you think about a physical live networking event, you've got people all around and you're chatting to one or two, but basically you're focusing on the one or two or three who you're immediately with. And what's happening in the background with the other 90, 100 people doesn't actually matter. Somebody spills a drink or drops a glass on the floor, doesn't matter. You see it, but you take it in and you've got the 3D perspective. I mean, let's face it, the big problem on Zoom is when you meet somebody, you don't know if they're kind of that high or they're this high. You've no idea.
But I also think it's also about being present as well. Especially in networking meetings, poor networking meetings, they do get the punishment sometimes, but you'll find people are doing other stuff and you can see that they're doing other stuff and they're not being present until they got to give their pitch, and then they appear and then they go do other stuff. Especially when people have multiple computers, you just notice it. And I think you do need to be present, because it comes down to this multitasking. And again, multitasking is not good for the brain. You need to focus on one activity at a time. And when you are sort of maybe listening with one ear to what's going on, and then you checking your emails, you must be writing your social media posts, you might be writing your blogs or responding to messages, you're not actually present. And I think that also is very easy to multitask when you're on Zoom and when you're in meetings, because people can't see you doing something else.
Well, it's worse than that. It's because on networking, as I was with my 70 people, there is an open request, if you like, to give testimonials or ask for a meeting or put a comment in and then put your details in when you speak. And when you've got 70 people, it's like, there's the streams of text going past. So it really is multitasking. But so going back to having, as you say, a very minimized screen down in the corner, or just having the speaker view on there, that certainly reduces the background multitasking of looking at everything that moves. Yeah.
And I mean, multitasking does make your brain tired. It can cause headaches. It can cause overwhelm. Yeah. I know that there's this idea and this sort of this accomplishment. Oh, I can multitask, but actually, you're doing more harm than good. Multitasking doesn't work because what you're doing is your brain focuses on one task at a time, and it means that you're shifting at a hell of a speed from one to the other, and this is what causes overwhelm, tiredness, headaches, just ugh.
Can I give you the electronics analogy of that?
Okay.
Yeah. Which is all modern computers, microprocessors, etc. They all work on ones and zeros. Yeah. But essentially, when the signal level, the voltage level inside any one of billions of gates in there switches between a 0 and a 1, or a 1 and a 0, the only time the energy is used up is in that transition. Yeah. Going from high to low or low to high, it doesn't matter either way. And it's actually a voltage sort of into a current, charging a capacitor and then discharging it. That is the time when the power is generated. And have you noticed that when your computer works faster and faster and faster and harder, it gets hotter? Yeah. Because it's multitasking. If you consider that as multitasking, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going and doing a complex process, and we're going in between them. And in the process, we get pollution. We get some of that information gets translated across into that information, like your text in your document or vice versa. And it's the exact same analogy. So we are just basic computers, really.
Yeah, but the thing is, computer can multitask. We can't.
It's designed to, and it comes back to what you said, and the very beginning of this is that if you're paying attention to all these faces all doing stuff on there, well, which of course 99% is irrelevant at that time, then you're burning up all the energy. You're already got your pedal sort of 2/3 the way to the floor. You haven't got a lot of reserve left to actually do what's important.
No, and this is why at the end of the working day, you just get this like absolutely drained, exhausted feeling, and it can take a while to get that energy up. So it is, Zoom fatigue is a thing, and it's just about balancing it out. We are going to most probably be staying on Zoom for the foreseeable future. It is a blessing and a curse, I guess, but
absolutely,
it's like anything, it has its good and it has its bad, but it's about creating the right balance, and it's not one size fits all. So it's find what works for you and your business and the way you do things, and then do it. Try different things. I know some business owners have a Zoom day, free day, certain days of the week when they book all their meetings on other days, and then that day there's no Zoom calls. So try that.
That's really important. Essentially, it comes down to, it's not just about your energy, but it's taking charge of your life as much as you can. Literally saying, you're not just responsible for it, but you're saying, hang on a minute, I am in charge of me. But then I'll make allowances for this one, and this one, but leave those gaps in there to go for the walk in the woods or whatever your thing is, to do the most relaxing thing you can.
So hopefully this video has helped, and this has been a great little chat, Jim. So hopefully we've helped some people.
Well, indeed. Thank you so much, Natalie, for hosting and inspiring this. And me, I'm going to go and relax in the sea. Imagine it's Lanzarote, which is where this photo was taken.